This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
She calling him out. He goes on TV the other day and talks his talk about Kamala Harris. And she like, let's get it on. Let's debate. Ain't nobody running. Nobody's scared. All of a sudden, he got nervous. Why could that be? Could it be because of Roe v. Wade? Could it be because you're not that sure those women out there gonna come and support you? Could it be because that bipartisan border bill that would have resolved some of these immigrant issues crossing the border got your fingerprints all over it just as much as you want to say her fingerprints were on it because she was the quote-unquote border czar, even though people are saying she wasn't the border czar? But she was, because she was in charge of it, so you don't have to call her the czar, but she was in charge of that issue. Fair enough.
Or could it be that you guys are full of crap? I mean, let's call us, you know what, a what? You guys sit there and lie, and that's all you do. Just perpetuate lie after lie to your audience. And you treat them, like I've said many times, like mushrooms. You don't expect the people who listen to your shows to have any brains about them. It's all hyperbole. It's all crap. And now you, Stephen A., have stepped in to that role. You have basically become the Black Harry Sisson. Congratulations. You've had an esteemed career. You've made millions upon millions of dollars. You have critiqued basketball and football. Some people agree with you. Some people don't. You've had a great career as a sportscaster, and you're looking stupid stepping into the political realm. Why? Because you haven't done your homework. You think this is easy because you know football inside and out. We both do. You know basketball inside and out. I'm not really big on basketball, but you can't match minds talking politically. And the reason why you can't match minds politically is because your bias and your fear of being an outcast in the black community is causing you to turn into step and fetch it. It is causing you to be the Black Harry Sisson. Now, I don't know if he'll ever see this. And if he does, he'll probably ignore it, or he may blast me. Either way, I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. The problem I have, and it's funny, because I actually find Stephen A. Smith entertaining. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just think the guy's trash, he's garbage, he's a clown, and all of those may apply depending on your opinion. But there's no doubt that he has been successful. He has a great show on ESPN, makes a ton of money. So by all measurement, he has been successful. However, in his zest to become the next David Letterman or Sean Hannity and try to move into a late night talk show host, which is what he really wants, that's where the big money is, even bigger than ESPN, he's messing up. And I don't mean to disparage him. I know I put up a really nutty picture as my thumbnail. But right now, what you're doing with Kamala Harris is indeed clowning. It is abject clownery, tomfoolery, whatever you want to call it. You're embarrassing yourself at this point by what you say. And I'm going to prove it. And so if he or any of his minions decide to come at me, bro, because I got some ammunition. So what I'm going to do in this show, I'm going to make it so he can't refute anything I say. I'm going to ask you questions as if I was the moderator at a debate, God forbid. I'm going to ask questions I would ask Kamala Harris and say, okay, you want to have a debate with Trump, number one, you're going to have it on neutral grounds. And number two, you're not going to basically, I'm not going to allow you to become, just say what you want. In the last debate, I found it funny. They had those buttons where, after your 60 seconds or they could turn you off. There should be a new rule. If you don't answer the question, boom, it goes off. Hey, so what color is the sun? Well, the last time done. You didn't answer the question. Is it yellow or is it green in the sky? You tell me. So I'll give you one more chance. What color is the sun? Well, it all depends. And your microphone would go off. If you can't answer simple questions, if you can't direct an answer, I don't want to hear from you. Don't want to hear from you whatsoever. So I've got basically a number of things to go over in regards to what Stephen A., in his last video, and what he said. And it's just so stupid. I mean, come on, man. You're insulting my intelligence. You're insulting everybody's intelligence. At least do a modicum of homework. If you do this much homework, you're going to find out the stuff you're spewing makes you look stupid to people who have actual functioning cortexes. It makes you look absolutely dumb. Man, I am so sick of celebrity simps and shills. You know, basically go out there and do the dance and say you're behind some candidate when you can't even answer for that candidate. You just spout some stuff off and you hope people just listen and go and pull the lever and vote. And that's just not how it should be. You should be able to, like I do, endeavor each time you get behind a microphone or in front of a camera to bring information to people. Not just cast aspersions because you feel like it, but actually bring information. I don't understand why these simps don't get it. So, and I do understand this. This is a big problem. Very big problem. For the last 8 years, maybe even longer, who knows how long the deep state's been going after him, every nook and cranny of Donald Trump's life, personal and business, has been exposed to the public. Every nook and cranny. They've taken every shot, literally, that they could take at him. They went after his taxes. They went after his marriage. They went after his businesses. They went after the valuation of his properties. They went after whoever he had sex with, supposedly. They went after whatever he has said in front of a microphone or on his television show and people who were guests on his show. And you all remember the grab him by the XYZ tape. They've done everything to put it out there to embarrass and basically influence people from voting for him. And it's worked. There are a lot of people who say, I hate Donald Trump, and they don't know why. If you said why, tell me specifically what it is you dislike about Donald Trump. Most of them are going to go, he's racist. Okay, who said that? Where did you find out that he's racist? Well, he's like the guy from Germany. Can't say the word. Show me how he's like that. They can't answer you because it doesn't exist. He's been vetted so deeply by so many different networks, by so many people. Remember the PP tape and all this crap. It was so funny when they came out with the whole PP tape. They didn't know at the time because they didn't realize the guy is a germaphobe. There's no way in heck. It was funny. People who knew of him were just like, no. No, he would not have let Russian sex workers take a wee on him because he's a germaphobe. It wouldn't have happened. You made yourself look dumb again. The problem, in contrast, is that Kamala Harris, even before she got installed as the candidate, she's been in relative national obscurity. Even under Dementia Joe, they've said, just basically go stand under that tree and shut up. Just stay away from the cameras as much as you can and just shut up. Unfortunately for her, she kept getting in front of cameras even before she was the vice president, and she looks really dumb because now all of that is coming out, and it's causing the media to go overboard with trying to protect her. They don't dare vet her in the same way they would vet Trump. To me, that alone makes her disqualified. You guys are making sure that the average person does not know anything about Kamala Harris that may be injurious, where it might cause people to think badly of her. Luckily, somewhat we can do that on YouTube, and we can do it a lot on Twitter/X. See, that's your problem. It's all coming out. It's bubbling up to the surface. And you can't do anything about it, including people like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, who has millions of followers on ESPN in terms of his audience, and he's growing his YouTube audience to close to 1 million subscribers. But they don't buy it either. Nobody buys this stuff because you can't possibly try to sell Kamala Harris as somebody who's walking on water. You just can't do it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through a lot of stuff about Kamala Harris, but not in the terms of me just saying it. We're going to go through it as if I'm a moderator for either Stephen A. Smith or Kamala. And, we'll get some comments from you guys as well. But I don't want to keep you here all night. So it's Sunday night. I hope you guys had a great Sunday. Let's just first go through what Stephen A. said in his show. And I say his show, his YouTube video. And then we can basically just tear it apart.
She calling him out. He goes on TV the other day and talks his talk about Kamala Harris. And she like, let's get it on. Let's debate. Ain't nobody running. Nobody scared. All of a sudden, he got nervous. Why could that be? Could it be because of Roe v. Wade?
Nope. Not about Roe v. Wade. That's in your imagination. It is no longer, it's funny. They don't even understand the decision that was made overturning Roe v. Wade. You guys do. Obviously, the celebrities don't want to hear it. What happened when they overturned Roe v. Wade, Stephen? Say it, since you think he may be worried about it, because that's a one-sentence answer. Hey, Stephen, they returned it to the states. There's no need and no desire for a national baby removal ban because it's not needed. Every state is going to determine how they want it to handle it. So you can't even bring that up in a presidential debate. And I keep seeing Kamala Harris's team tweet about that. I'm like, how stupid are you? That's over. It's settled. He's not moving forward with that. It's a state's issue at this point. It's done. It's not a presidential issue. I don't even know why you're advocating for it. You think you're going to overturn, what the Supreme Court already said? Good luck with that. It's you guys who want to make it a national issue, not Trump. Let's continue.
Could it be because you're not that sure those women out there going to come and support you?
So you think Trump is, you're whispering like Joe Biden, you think Trump is ducking women. Stephen A., you haven't seen the metrics. Everybody knows at this point that the only lead amongst women are the blue-haired, knucklehead, young, single women. It's not women all-encompassing. It's a very finite group, Stephen. Did you not know that? Did you not know that basically it's young, single women who don't like Donald Trump? And you know what the reason why that is, because you just talked about it. Those are the people who aren't happy, not that they would ever get pregnant, not that they even know what a woman is, but in any event, it's the same people. They're purple-haired college kids. That's it.
Could it be because that bipartisan border bill that would have resolved some of these immigrant issues crossing the border got your fingerprints all over it?
Stephen A., you don't understand. There was already border law in place. There was no reason to screw it up. What do you mean? We need to do... Every time I hear these people talk, it drives me absolutely nuts. Every time I hear them say, we've got to do border reform, we've got to change the way, and the Republicans are holding it up. I'm like, no, the law's pretty clear. You cross the border illegally, you are an illegal blank, blank, blank. We can't even say the word anymore. There's no reason. No reason to change anything. You want to change it, and you think a bipartisan border bill. No, that's changing where things are to secure the country. How do I know this? Ding, 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 ding. My father was an immigrant. Sans the illegal part. my father, his brothers, a couple of his sisters, his mom, his aunts, all came here at different times through the front door, got their papers, came in, became citizens. What's so hard about that? What don't you people understand? Why is there such a need to reform something? Hey, we already had it. It's in place. How many people have come through the front door and it hasn't been a problem? It's only become a problem since you guys made it a problem. When I say you guys, I'm lumping Stephen A. in there with the Democrats. So you're trying to fix something that wasn't broke. As much as Karine Jean-Pierre says we've had a broken immigration system, no, it worked pretty good. It worked pretty good. You walk up and say, I want to jump the fence or swim in the river and get here. It doesn't work that way. Turn around, go back to where you came from. That's all you have to do. You didn't even need a wall for most of the time in this country. But you invited these people in and you're telling them they can have free hotel stays, free ATM cards, free cable, free transportation. Why wouldn't they come swimming across the Rio Grande? But you can't put that on Trump because it was already secure. You don't need to fix a problem. You don't need to fix something that wasn't broke and then blame it on Trump for not helping you fix what isn't broke. That is the biggest misnomer out there. Let's continue.
Just as much as you want to say her fingerprints were on it because she was the quote-unquote border czar, even though people are saying she wasn't the border czar. But she was because she was in charge of it. So
at least he agreed with that, which is basically going to cause him a lot of problems at this point because you just admitted that she was the border czar. Oops. Sorry, Stephen. You just lost your Dem card.
You don't have to call her the czar, but she was in charge of that issue. Fair enough.
It's absolutely stunning how some of these people don't know, let me go back to full camera, don't know exactly what he's talking about. And so I'm going to go through this, and let me just make sure I do this thing and go through here. Mr. Stephen A. Smith, or Miss Harris, I've got some questions. So as you saw in the titling of that, one of the things I said was, can she answer these questions? Can she answer these simple questions and just go on and let us know what exactly she's talking about? Because at this point, nobody wants to answer these questions. And let me get to this real quick here. Okay, so, all right, let me get to this. I'm having to fast forward because, all right, so let's continue with what he has to say.
Gentlemen, it's getting thick up in here. She is the presumptive nominee. There will be, all the competitors have walked away. Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsoms of the world and Wes Moores of the world and others. Everyone has rallied behind her. She is the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America.
No, she's not. No, she's not. Do you understand, Stephen A., that she doesn't even have a single delegate vote? Not one. Zero. None. Until they actually nominate her on August 22nd, or if they try to push it earlier, she is not the nominee. She's just some woman out there trying to be a candidate. That's it. There's nothing legally conferred on her that makes her the nominee. That's an abject, complete lie. You're telling lies and you're acting like they're truths, and they're not. She is not the candidate. She is not the nominee. She has not been nominated.
I don't want to hear no nonsense about how she did bad in the primary 4 years ago. I'm going to talk to my man Will Kane in a few minutes about that because I know he's going to bring that up. I don't want to hear all of that.
I'm sorry. I don't care if you want to hear it. It's the truth. Does the truth bother you? Does it bother some Democrats? Yeah, we know it does bother you people. You don't want to hear the truth.
The bottom line is, that's going up against a bunch of other Democrats trying to win a nomination. This is you having a nomination and going against somebody on the opposite side of the fence.
I'm sorry, she has a nomination? Could you please prove to us, Mr. Smith, how she has the nomination? It is July 28th, and tell me, please, how you would basically be able to prove and ascertain that she now has the nomination. You can't do it. You're lying. You are straight up lying to everybody watching your videos.
Fence. And whether you want to call it lawfare or whatever it is that you want to call it, I think the one thing that Kamala Harris said that was very powerful in her first speech since Biden stepped down was when she said, I know Donald Trump's type. Because she going for him. She going after him.
So she's going after him because she's, a top-notch prosecutor, you're saying. What is she going after him with? Per what happened in New York, he's already convicted. For now. What does it matter if she's a prosecutor? What is she going to do different at this point? Unfortunately for the Dems, this is not a court of law. You can say convicted felon till your eyes turn blue, but it's not going to help you. We need to hear about the issues. The issues that people actually care about.
She's doing what he usually does to people. And that's what makes this interesting. I'm a sports guy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
I
we
like
know
competition. I like to see people mano a mano or man versus woman or whatever. I love it. Whatever the game calls for, let's get it on. And
But the game, there's no game. There is no opponent. That's what he's not understanding. When you're calling an NFL game, when you're calling an NBA game, even a college football game, there is a certified opponent. They're wearing another uniform. They've been found to be an NBA team, an NFL team, a collegiate team. What's Kamala? As much as you don't want to hear it, she has not earned anything. In fact, did not earn it is actually the moniker that she is wearing. Wear it proudly. Didn't earn it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm having not to use the words because I'm concerned what the people upstairs might say if I say the actual term. Didn't earn it. She was installed. And we're finding out possibly illegally. It's funny that he doesn't want to talk about that. I don't know if you guys at home have heard the news today, but there's people chirping, probably coming from the Biden camp, that Joe Biden, Dementia Joe, was threatened. Either drop out or we're going to 25th Amendment you. Now understand this. If they gave him the choice of dropping out or getting 25th amended, are you saying, Miss Harris, that this guy should have been taken out of office on a 25th Amendment, that you feel comfortable that you would have been successful getting him out of office under a 25th Amendment decision, meaning he's incompetent? Is that what you're saying? So now that he signed the papers to withdraw, you're leaving that person that you were going to put out by 25th Amendment and you're letting him stay in the Oval Office? You're going to have to answer that question. When you get to a debate, someone's going to have to ask you that, aren't they? Hey, listen, did you know this guy had issues? How long have you known that he's had issues? People like Stephen A. Smith don't ask those questions. They just skirt past them. They don't want you to even think about those questions. No, we can't ask that. Why not? We're going to have a debate. If I'm Trump, I'm like, hey man, how long did you know that this guy was off his rocker? And why didn't you say anything? I mean, you said every single day I'm with Joe. I talk to Joe all the time. We always work together very closely. Okay, when did you know that he was incompetent? And how long have you been lying to the American people about it? Stephen A., he don't want to go there.
I love about what Kamala Harris is doing more than anything is that she's saying, yo, I think you a criminal. I think you this. I think you that. Don't matter. You the GOP nominee. I'm going to take you down.
She ain't saying that. She's trying to rile up people like you. Hey, yo, I'm the GOP nominee. I'm going to take you down. Number one, that ain't going to fly. You're talking in a affected black voice, and there's many black people who are like, nah, Kamala ain't it. I've shown many of them. I will continue to show them. So Steve, please stop with the the jive, because this is a whole different ball game here. It's ball game. Since you're into sports, this ain't it. This ain't the minor leagues. This ain't the HBCU leagues. This is the big leagues. And so just pandering to a black audience ain't gonna cut it.
Let's debate. She ain't talking lawfare. She's basically saying, Trump, I'm gonna bust your ass.
Nah, she's not. She don't got it like that, Steve. What? In order, you know what's funny to me? I've listened to this a couple of times, and again, this guy has basically critiqued basketball, football, college football. When you look at watching a game, you go into it and say, okay, XYZ player has shot, 45%. He's scoring 30 points a game. He's one of the best in the league. This guy is thrown for 300 yards a game for 3 games in a row. He's got the stats that back up his playing, his performance, his meritorious awards that show that he should be there. You got anything on Kamala? I mean, seriously, you have any stats that show that this woman should be in this game? Anything? I'm serious. Do you have any accomplishment that you'd like to bring out, that you'd like to proffer as evidence in this debate, Mr. Smith? Do you have anything you want to show me that shows that, hey, this woman should be in the league? How many times have we seen rookies in the NBA, Major League Baseball, basketball, and go, man, this guy ain't got it. He needs to go back down to the minor leagues. He can't hit the fastball. You can be as cocky as any athlete you want. I remember when I got to play and I was like, man, I'm going to take this guy down. My first practice, this guy stuck me on my butt. I didn't have as much as I thought I deserved to be where I was. This guy that I went up with, who was an All-American, showed me something. I was like, whoa, I need to hit the gym. I need to start doing something so I can compete. I can had full bravado. I could say, hey, listen, I'm going to take you on. I'm going to put your nose in the dirt. I'm going to do this. And then, bam, I got to prove it. And bam, he dropped me. And I'm like, okay, gotcha. I understand what I got to do now. I got to hit the gym. I got to learn the plays. Show me anything that proves to anybody that Kamala deserves to be the Democrat nominee. Because she ain't got it yet. Understand, she's not there. She wants to be. That's a big difference. You're trying to drive it down people's throat as if she's there.
That's what she's saying.
I don't care what she
That's
says.
what she's saying. And I got to admit, I love it. It's must-see TV when they debate each other.
No, it won't, because, well, I'll get to that, why it won't be.
If they debate each other.
Now you're talking. If they debate each other.
Let me get to this point. Because I got to get to Donald Trump. The GOP nominee I was just talking about. Who earlier stated he thought it was important for presidential candidates to debate one another. Remember that, Donald Trump? Well, this Donald Trump. Remember Donald Trump and Joe Biden agreed to a second debate that was scheduled for September 10th, right? Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I
Biden,
did.
of course, announced on Sunday that he won't be seeking re-election like I just told y'all, opting instead to lend his support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. We know all of that. Now the Trump campaign said yesterday they won't commit to a debate until Harris is confirmed as the Democratic nominee. Really?
Yes, really.
Really, Donald Trump? That's what it is?
What happened to any time, any place? He was talking about the current president of the United States. He was talking about the man who had every delegate from every state. He was the actual presumptive nominee. He was going to be the nominee. There was no doubt. He had every delegate. So you just can't say, hey, listen, I understand that Joe was on your schedule for September 10th or whatever. I'm going to step in and I'm the new Joe. You, what do you mean? You haven't earned it. You just can't step in and then use all the terms that I used against Adventure Joe as if it was directed to you. He never said anytime, any place with you. Who are you? Seriously, who are you? You just don't get to play with the big boys if you're not one of the big boys. You are not credible yet. And they're trying, as you can hear in this thing, they are trying everything to try and make her seem credible.
Scared?
Scared.
What the hell's going on? I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Donald Trump. I'm looking forward. I know y'all might not like this because he was just on trial for some manslaughter or whatever, but it got thrown out. But Alec Baldwin imitating Donald Trump, I missed those skits on Saturday Night Live. I want to see him again. I want to see him again.
Now, you see what I'm saying? Now it's simply Harry Sisson stuff. He's lost the ability to speak politically with a firm and direct voice. Now he's talking about Saturday Night Live skits, and he's affecting his accent for the people he's hoping will see his video.
But anyway, I digress. The point is, this is Donald Trump. You love going after folks. You love calling folks out, right? Well, Kamala Harris calling him out. She calling him out. He goes on TV the other day and talks his talk about Kamala Harris. And she like, let's get it on. Let's debate. Ain't nobody running. Nobody's scared. All of a sudden, he got nervous. Why could that be? Could it be because of Roe v. Wade?
And we talked about this.
Could it be because you're not that sure those women out there going to come and support you? Could it be because that bipartisan border bill that would have resolved some of these immigrant issues crossing the border got your fingerprints all over it?
But they
just
don't.
as much as you want to say her fingerprints were on it because she was the quote-unquote border czar, even though people are saying she wasn't the border czar? But she was, because she was in charge of it, so you don't have to call
So
her.
that's all I wanted to hear from you, Stephen. That's it. You just said the only truthful thing in your diatribe that went on for X amount of minutes. It just blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, she was a border czar. Thank you. It's almost like a summation in a courtroom. When you start talking to the person that's on the stand and you're like, Your Honor, can you just have him answer the question? Yeah, but you know, was she the border czar? Yeah, she was a border czar. Okay, you're dismissed. Get off the stand. You said what we needed to say. Now, I don't think he realized what he said there, but that's it. Let me just make sure this thing is working. Get some comments from you guys. Stephen A. is an idiot. Yeah, he just said it. You ever watch like Perry Mason or Law and Order or any of these shows where they finally, yeah, I did it. Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor. All the other stuff you just said means absolutely nothing. Means nothing. You just admitted to the crime. Or in this case, you just admitted to what she's been trying to get every newscast out there to disavow and say she didn't do. You just admitted it to your millions and millions of followers. Yeah, she was a border czar. Okay, so the rest of your stuff doesn't matter. Now you have your answer as to why Trump doesn't need to debate her. She's nothing. And I don't mean that from a personal standpoint. I'm not going to call another human being nothing. But I'm going to say she hasn't earned anything. 0 delegates. Not one. 0 delegates. Nothing. Hasn't accomplished anything. You can't lay anything out there. And the only thing that you confirmed was, yeah, she was the border czar. Thank you. That's it. 5 to 6 seconds of Stephen A. Smith is too long. How many followers does he have? I think on Twitter, like 8, 9, 10 million. I mean, he's got a huge audience. It hasn't all transferred to YouTube yet, which he's trying to build. I think he's got like 900,000 on YouTube. And of course, he's got basically the #1 show on ESPN, either he or Pat McAfee. So he's got a huge audience, and they're used to him talking that way. See, that's the difference is the people who hear him on ESPN and how he banters when he talks about athletes and games and teams is a completely different audience who he's going to be talking to about politics. When you talk to people about politics, as I do here, you better bring proof. You better bring information that they can go and verify. You just can't use hyperbole and scream at the camera and affect your accent and expect people to understand that you mean the goods. The only part there in his entire section that he actually said complete was, yeah, she was a bourgeois. Why did you bow your head? Why did you hide when you said that? Does MAGA believe in facts or just feelings? Well, you're about to see some facts. It's obvious that this might be your first time here. Thank you for showing up. Don't be a troll. Ask the question just like you did. You're going to get some answers. Maybe once you leave here, you're going to go, wow, he did bring up some really strong answers. So if you want to be educated, Mr. Conscious Moron, maybe we'll get you to change your screen name and take the moron part off, and we're going to take the time to educate you. And when I say education, I'm going to give you some homework. I'm going to give you some homework and say, don't listen to me. Go look it up. Go do your research. Don't accept anything anybody tells you except what you can tell yourself. That's the difference. Gaslighting at its finest. It blows my mind that there are perpetuated and repeated in lockstep, in unison. Yeah, absolutely. He makes stuff up just for his own attention. He's not as bright as ESPN thinks. And that's what a lot of these guys do. I watched MSNBC today, and they talked about how Trump's Project 2025, what it was going to do. And I'm sitting there on the lazy boy next to my wife, and she's like, everything he's saying is completely made up. I'm like, yeah. Their viewers don't know enough to know different. Blah, 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 blah. And it was in a 10-minute segment, 9.5 minutes, it was about baby removal. And I'm like, do you guys not know anything? Besides baby removals, do you have any other idea what people in this country care about? It's amazing. RF says, if I post anything that challenges liberals on their YouTube post, it gets deleted quickly. No, they don't want a challenge. They don't want you to have an alternative reality, alternative information. Stephen A. Smith is a political lightweight. Yeah, because he's jumping into something where he hasn't done his homework. So let me continue with this because I don't want to keep you here on all Sunday night. But I mentioned Stephen A. Smith. If I was talking to him and we were having a real conversation with a conscious moron guy who posted, you want to talk facts? Well, let me ask you a question. I'm going to post this, and then afterwards, Miss Harris, Mr. Smith, please explain this.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should.
Okay. Miss Harris, why should protesters, quote, continue and not let up? What were you trying to encourage at that point? I don't know if Martha Raddatz or Dana Bash or Jake Tapper. Why did you say that to Stephen Colbert? Why did you want, instead of having something resolved, why did you want to continue with the riots and the burning? And then shut up, Jake. Just let her answer. Answer the question. She won't. It'll be filibustered. I don't care if people peacefully protest, but when you're standing in front of a square and behind you all you see is fire, that's not a peaceful protest. As we just saw in Washington with them defacing all these things and burning flags that they didn't own, that's not a peaceful protest. Beating up on cops, is not a peaceful protest. So Kamala, I understand you don't like what Trump said, where he said they should immediately get a year in jail, which they couldn't because they'd have to go through trial and everything else. But you're a prosecutor. Stephen A. Smith just told us you're a prosecutor. What should the crime be for defacing federal property? What should the crime be for burning property that you don't own? You see, if you want to burn a flag, go down to Big Lots. Go into Kmart, Walmart, pay your money, buy your flag, get your lighter fluid, and burn it. Completely protected under the First Amendment. Okay, I don't like it, but it's protected. But you don't get to come to my house, pull my flag down off the pole, put another flag up, and burn the one that I own. So please tell me what the sentence, how you would charge these people who are defacing property and burning property that they don't own. Is that not a crime, Miss Harris? And then just shut up. She can't answer it. Can't answer it at all. Here's a big one for Mr. Stephen A. Mr. Stephen A., I think some of you guys have seen this, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let me just play this. Mr. Conscious Moron, let me ask you a question after you hear about 30 seconds of this.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place.
So, Miss Harris, I understand that currently, somehow, we have no idea, but we won't go there. Currently, between you and your husband, you're worth, about $10 million. Stephen A. Smith, I understand your annual contract is for $10 or $12 million. How much are you willing to give up for this equity you propose? I mean, your words. We need to get people to the same place. So what is it that you want to give up? You can start with yourself. You don't have to go any further. Tell me how much of your equity you want to give to this person here. Because you're the one saying this is what we have to do. Well, you're talking about taking mine. You're talking about taking this audience. But first, let's define how much you are willing to give up. And then Jake Tapper could shut up. George Stephanopoulos, you could shut up. Or you could say, hey, Ms. Harris, how much of my money? I'm George Stephanopoulos. I'm Jake Tapper. I make millions as well. I'm Stephen A. Smith. How much of my money you expect I'm taking? So if you guys are all for Kamala Harris, write the friggin' check and shut up. Because that's the woman you want to debate Trump, right? Oh, I'm in for it. It's a game. Okay, here's the game. How much are you willing to give up? When she answers that number and says, hey, listen, in your studio, you're making 10 or 12 million a year, and there's a guy who's running a camera making a couple $100,000 a year, you're going to have to cut a check to him for about, I don't know, each one of these cameramen, you give him about $500,000. It'll help bring it up. Eventually, you're going to have to give even more because you're still not in the same place. You started way down the road. You got 12 million, right? You got $12 million. Maybe get more next year. So you're way ahead of that guy. How much are you willing to give me to be in a better position? Give. Redistribution. How much are you willing of yours to give me? I don't even have to earn it. According to what Kamala said, you got to give it up. So, in this debate, Ms. Harris, how much of mine would you like? And then shut up. Her words. This is a debate. This is an economic debate. This is when you're actually talking to people and finding out, what they mean. How about this one? Here, let's go here.
Must be addressed.
The bill also says, quote, every individual who is a resident of the United States is entitled to benefits for health care services under this act. not every individual who's a citizen, but every individual who's a resident. So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all to people who are in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period.
Ms. Harris, we just played a tape where you said that everybody should get free stuff. With that being said, how are you going to pay for that? Where's that money going to come from? Who do you expect is going to have to, foot that bill? America is watching this debate, and they'd love to know, who would you like to fit this bill? And then shut up. Be ready to hit her button when she goes eek, ak, orp, and starts talking about stuff nobody cares about. You have to understand the top issues. That's what a debate should be confined to. Not all the fluff stuff here that you want to help with the fringe. Not all the zingers. Here's a question. You said you want this. What's the deal? Can't answer it though, can you? Now, I love this one. Okay, so we've also heard you say this before.
Yes or no question. Are you for defunding the police? So I'm going to ask the same question the protesters asked him. Are you for defunding the police?
How are you defining defund the police?
You would not have...
What are we, stupid? Ms. Harris, how do you not know what defund the police means? She's asking you for your definition. You're the one who said it. How do you plan on defunding the police? What are you going to say?
Police officers, like this Minneapolis city councilwoman said, that I would be a place of privilege if someone broke into my home and I wanted to call the police.
So, again, we need to reimagine how we are achieving public safety in America.
I want you to reimagine how that's going to happen. Explain to us in this debate without, all these metaphors, how are you going to defund the police and keep safety in place? Okay. I don't want to live where you live. Oh, by the way, you from California. That's right. That's right. Oakland, all the stores are leaving. You can't even keep your own population safe. That's a question that should be asked at a debate. It should be asked straight up. How are you going to do this? Because we see what's going on in California. We see these areas where it's okay to shoplift $900. Just go ahead, and as long as it's under, you're at $850, you're good, steal it. You were a prosecutor in California. You were the attorney general. You want to prosecute Trump. How about you prosecute that? How about you prosecute all the stuff you see around the country right now with people defacing property and burning stuff and looting and stealing stuff off the shelves of stores to the point where corporate America has said, see ya. How are you going to fix this? You are a prosecutor, right? By your own admission. Ms. Harris, please give America that answer. Then they'll never answer that question. Got one more for you here. This one here this came out today. And if I was Kamala Harris, I would fly to Boston, find out where Elizabeth Warren lives, and choke the life out of her. I did a video yesterday where I said, I think Elon Musk basically cut the knees off of Kamala Harris by letting so much information get out. Well, Liz Warren, if you didn't know better, she decided to go on, what show is it, State of the Union with Jake Tapper. And she just proceeded to just, in my estimation, just cut her at the knees. Just, wait till you hear this. Nobody has said this. I think she got excited. I don't know. This is the most insane thing, and she confirmed another conspiracy theory is no longer a conspiracy theory. Listen to this.
The border, to have more resources in the states and cities that are supporting migrants, and I believe we need to create a pathway to citizenship. All of that is a part of what we need to do for comprehensive immigration reform. Kamala Harris will work with Congress and get that done.
So we were right. Your entire intention of flooding the border was to turn these people into Democrat voters by giving them some sort of way, a pathway to citizenship. And we all said, you know what they're doing. You know why they're doing this. Oh, no, you're a conspiracy theorist. Miss Harris, Senator Elizabeth Warren just said your plan is to work with Congress and get all these people a pathway to citizenship. Is that indeed what you want to do? Go ahead, Jake. Ask her that. Hey, Stephen A., ask her that. You want to debate? There's a question for you. Is what she just said real? Did she just say what your plan is to just basically find a way to make all these newcomers, give them their green, not even a green card, make them citizens? Is that what your plan is? Be honest. Be a woman. Stand up. You want to go ahead and debate. Here's a question for you. Is your intention to make all these people citizens of the United States? And then shut up. Let her answer. Oh, I'm sure Stephen A. won't ask that question. I'm sure Dana Bash won't ask that question. I'm sure none of them will. I don't even know if the people from Fox will. She felt so comfortable going on TV today that she said on a live broadcast, oh, well, Kamala's going to work with Congress to get this passed. What? Where did that come from? How did that just get into our entire platform at this point? That Kamala Harris is now going to work with Congress to find a way to give all these people citizenship. That should be disqualifying. You say that in a debate, just go ahead and walk off. Just leave. At that point, it's over. Trump can just laugh at you. Okay. Did you hear her? Did you hear what she just said? Jake. Did you hear what this woman just said? These are the kind of questions that need to be asked at a debate. I got more. I got about 10 more. But they'll never be asked. They have to hide that. I don't know what Elizabeth Warren was thinking. Decriminalize them. Yep. She straight up. Like I said, I don't know where that guy is who said, am I just going to be feelings or am I going to say anything? You can go. I just showed it to you. Hey, Barry, did you take that out of context? No, go look it up. Hit your DVR. Go look at State of the Union this morning. She actually said that. Yes, Harris intends for illegals to cast votes. It's shameful. But she'll never say that to the public. That was a slip-up. Liz Warren should have never said that. That needs to be put out there everywhere. Trump leading in Wisconsin again. Yeah, they won't ask her questions that matter. Only baby removal and the alphabet stuff. Yep, that's it. And then they'll hide her. They'll hide her any way that they can. Oh, yeah, I had that one in here too, but I played it. Yeah, increase taxes by 60 to 80%, which, as I said in my live broadcast yesterday, they're all liars. George Clooney, Rob Reiner, Barb Streisand, Stephen King, all of them. Every single one of them. LeBron James, not a single one of them would agree to pay 60 to 80% of their income in taxes. But they're going to get up on a stage and say, yeah, I'm for Kamala. No, you ain't. No, you can't possibly be. Stephen A., you can't possibly be down with that. Talking in his vernacular. I'd love to. Hey, Stephen A., let's be honest. If anyone shows you this video, you get pissed at me, just answer me this question. Are you prepared to give up 60 to 80% of your annual salary from ESPN? Just let me know. I'm calling you on it. Like you said, oh, he's calling him out. I'm calling you out. I think you're full of it. I think you're 100% full of it. If you tell me and you look in a camera in a straight face, no, you don't have to get nasty with anybody and go, who the hell is this guy, Barry? Only thing you got to say is, yes, I intend on giving up 60 to 80% of my income. And I will salute you and say, damn, that's a man. That's a man. You just stood up and you owned it. Own it, bro. Own it. Tell the world that you want to give up 60 to 80% of your income if Kamala Harris gets elected. But then I got question number 2 that I asked yesterday. What's stopping you from doing it now? What? What do you mean, Barry? What's stopping you from doing that right now? Hey, Stephen King, what's stopping you from doing it right now? Prove it. Go ahead, go home, get out your checkbook, and write a check for $6 or $7 million to the IRS. They'll take it. If you truly believe in it, what you waiting for? Sucker. Gotcha. Absolutely gotcha. I can prove that you're full of shit. I can prove that every single one of these celebrities is full of it. There's no way Beyonce, Jay-Z, any of these entertainers want to give up 60 to 80% of their money, because if they truly believe that, they'd already be doing it. So Stephen A., you just signed a $12 million contract, which means tomorrow you should be able to cut a check for $8.4 million to the IRS. Send us a copy of the check when you're done. If not, I ain't got nothing for you. Because all you're saying is you're basically the biggest BSer out there. You want to go ahead and make a video and say that, I love her platform. I love what she's doing. Oh, she is it. Oh, I can't wait till she takes on Donald Trump. Don't have to wait. She's the vice president of Biden's regime right now. You could show us you're a man and cut a check for $7 or $8 million to the IRS and then post it. Post it after it clears. Don't show me a check for $7 million and then tear it up when the video's over. Wait till the thing clears. Show us the back where it's stamped by the IRS. And then I'll say, damn, that's a man. That's a man who stands up behind what he really believes. Because right now, we all know you're full of it. So that's it. That's the whole game. Dems talk about getting the rich to pay their fair share, but no, they won't change the tax dodging loopholes that they use themselves. All of them. They make tons of money. The Obamas, hundreds of millions of dollars, which I don't know how they get. AOC, $10-20 million. Letitia James, they all have millions. And they all talk about raising the taxes. Well, just go ahead and cut a check. Prove it. Step up and prove it. Quit being a simp, and show us all. It's crazy. Barry versus Steve debate. I do it because the guy earlier who asked that question, is it, facts or feelings? That's what it is. The Dems all work on feelings. All they talk about are feelings and ideologies, but none of them ever want to do it. Hey, listen, you know what? We're going to bring all these newcomers into town. Dude, you make $7 million. Why didn't you go out and rent like 100 apartments? You want us to? Oh, okay. No, how much are you cutting to the newcomer fund? Easy to prove it. Show us that you have written checks to, basically house newcomers. Oh, no, you're not doing that. Okay, all right. Actually, somebody says Congress makes like $250 a year. No, it's only $175. If put it this way, you make $175,000 a year. Maybe Nancy, because she was speaker, she might be in the $250. So if you make $250 and you're in a 30-40% tax rate, you're writing a check for $100,000 to the government every year, meaning you only got 160, 170 left over to live with. And then you got to pay your mortgage and this and that and the other thing. And you might be able to save, I don't know, half that, 75 or 80 a year. Tell me how, if you only can save 70 to 80 a year, that you're worth $30 million. You want to have a debate? Show me how you made that money. See, Stephen A. can do it. Hey, listen, my contract's for $12 million a year. That's how I make my money. But no question. Nancy, your contract with the United States you make $175,000 a year. Tell me how you got to 20 and 30 million. Well, I've done some good stuff with my stocks now. Yeah, how did you start? How did you start doing that? What were your initial buys? Because we can go back and look at them and see when you bought things. Were you doing some insider trading stuff? Kamala. We know Donald Trump. Oh, there's a building here, there's a building there, there's a golf course there, there's a golf course there. Jets. Come on, how'd you make your money? You were a prosecutor in California. You were attorney general. That ain't jack. That ain't big money. I'm sorry, that's not big money. You were, Montel, what's his name? Montel Williams' side piece. You ain't getting big paid for that. How did you go from where you were just a few short years ago to having multi-millions of dollars in the bank? They don't want to explain that. These DAs get rich because they take from the grants that they get for the districts like Fannie Willis does. Oh, you mean, what's one guy call her cash money? Cash money. Because if she goes to court and goes, I keep cash in the house. That's what black people do. What? What? Really? Black people who are doing well keep a bunch of cash around? No, you whatever you have in your wallet, maybe you've got a little bit of cash that you keep in a home safe or something, but you don't keep 50 grand of cash sitting around. It's a lie. Yes, how does AOC have that much money? Because whatever she's doing, the media doesn't ask. It's all fake. Every single thing. And again, the guy who challenged me in the chat, dude, go look it up. You tell me how AOC, who was bartending a few years ago, now is worth millions. Figure it out. She loves other women's husband like Fanny. Yeah, that's true. Smith is like that drunk you can't reason with. No, they get mad. They want to scream. I know what would happen. So if I said to him, hey, Mr. Smith, because I'm going to call you Mr. Smith because you have not told me I can call you Stephen yet. Okay, I can call you Stephen. Great. Stephen. Can we talk? Let's talk about Kamala. Won't even talk about yourself. Let's talk about Kamala. These questions. You down with all these newcomers becoming citizens? Would you ask her that? No, you wouldn't do that. Cash money, G. Willis. Yeah, that's what it is. What else we have? Kamala's equity and equality equals black people do not have intelligence or ability to have prosperity and success in building wealth, keep the black people on the plantation and government control. You raise an interesting point there. When you say equity and equality, man, there's a lot of people in Appalachia who ain't got no money. They're dirt poor. You gonna give them some? I mean, they're white and poor. I never hear any of these equity-based politicians talk about the poor whites in the country. Are they not as deserving? I just never hear them. They talk about it'll help the black people. Well, wait a second, man. Have you driven through parts of West Virginia? Have you seen what's going on in some of these former steel mill and coal mill areas? Where these people have to exist because by going out and hunting, otherwise they don't eat? What are you going to do for them? Why can't they get your money? Since everyone's going to be equitable, it's crazy. That's one of the reasons why they write off those states. They can't even campaign in West Virginia. We can't even talk to these people. Nope. Because you got nothing for them. Because you're phony. Stephen A. is not going to own it. He's going to say you're crazy. Yeah. And I would just show him these videos. That's why I put him here. That's why I put it in case anybody sees this later and they say, no, you're making it up. No, it came out of her mouth. So let's continue with some stuff. So again, some questions for Miss Harris. So Miss Harris, let me ask you a question. It has come out and come to our attention that you are the type of soul-destroying bully, in quotes, that staff members fear and loathe. You have gone and given degrading tirades, decades-long toxic behavior that left people in tears and saw them quit at unprecedented levels. 92% of your current position. The staff of your current position, 92% of the staff of your vice president role has told you to F off. What makes you think you can run a country with that kind of attrition? Couldn't run any company in the country if 92% of your employees would say, I ain't working for this witch. It ain't happening. So, Ms. Harris, the question is, why have you had 92% turnover in your office? Steve, you want to ask her? Because I'm sure in your business, you don't have 92% turnover. Yeah, you split up with Skip Bayless, but I'm sure you still have the same cameramen and assistants. So, Ms. Harris, as a sign of a good CEO, someone who's going to manage the country, why do you have 92% turnover in your business? You want to ask Trump that too? Hey, Trump, what's your turnover been? I still got people here, been here for 30 years. The only people I've had trouble with are the people you've tried to basically bankrupt in court. Other than that, they'd still be working for me. I saw Paul Manafort on TV the other day, and he was basically sitting there. This guy went to jail. Pete Navarro went to jail. Still there for Trump. That's the kind of loyalty that this man has. So, Ms. Harris, as part of this debate here tonight, why do you have 92% turnover? Crickets? Cricket? No, but we know they'll never ask that. Let me ask this question to you, Ms. Harris. This came out tonight. Harris campaign admits to misleading voters on Project 2025. So basically, you've been putting out there on social media and in your speeches that Trump is going to basically utilize and implement Project 2025. What evidence specifically do you have that Donald Trump is going to implement Project 2025? Especially since this newspaper has said that you've admitted now that that's untrue. It's all about the questions. You'll never hear these people on the news ask these questions. Let's see, got another one for me. This is from the Gateway Pundit. I mentioned this earlier. Report, Barack Obama threatened to use the 25th Amendment to remove Joe Biden after his medical incident, in quotes. In Las Vegas, it had Kamala Harris's approval to do so. Ms. Harris, there's a story out today from the Gateway Pundit that said you and Barack basically schemed to have Joe leave the office, or rather, leave the campaign, or you guys were going to take him out by 25th Amendment. You want to tell us about that? And I mentioned earlier, hey, listen, if you thought he could be taken out by the 25th Amendment, how is he still president? By the way, that ain't over. That story ain't over. You can mark my words here at 7:10 on July 28th. If the numbers in the poll start tanking for Kamala, because I think at this point she has reached her peak. The honeymoon's over. Now some people are going to have to start asking the hard questions. Do you think they replace her? Or do you think they said, you know what, let's jump the gun and put you in as president? Joe, abdicate the throne, get out, and just go ahead and name her president. See, that's another option. Here's why that's an option. There are certain states, because of where they are on the calendar right now, they can't get Kamala on some of these ballots. The only way that she can get on a few of these states is if she's the incumbent president. So that's why I've thought all along, this is a test run. This is her audition to see if she can actually win. How she's going to do against Trump. Because they still have chess pieces that they still haven't played. Hey, Stephen A. Smith, you ask her about that? Jake Tapper, you want to bring that up about the 25th Amendment? And how do you keep the 25th Amendment secret from the other cabinet members? Nope, no answer? Okay, no answer. Let's see what we got here. I love this one. At the American Federation of Teachers Conference last week, Kamala Harris claimed the Biden-Harris administration has forgiven student loans that Donald Trump wants to cut Medicare and security, and that conservatives are banning books. And the Texas newspaper says Harris lies repeatedly in Houston's speech to teachers union. So, Miss Harris, have you forgiven student loans? Yeah. Well, what happened with that? How did you do that when the Supreme Court said you couldn't do it? Did you just go behind the Supreme Court's back? Or did you lie and say, we tried to give them away, but the Supreme Court said it wasn't possible? We'll wait for your answer. You got 30 seconds. Or what was the next one here? Oh, you say that Trump wants to cut Medicare and Social Security. You made a speech. Do you have any evidence of that? I'll give you 60 seconds because that's two things. And then the third one, conservatives are banning books. All right, Kamala, what books are conservatives banning and why are they banning them? This would be an awesome debate because Trump could just say, I don't want kids reading this filth. I don't want kids learning how to pleasure themselves. I don't want kids 9 and 10 learning how to do the stuff you did with Willie Brown. Oh my God, what a zinger. I don't want little Buffy learning how to bend over and be you for Willie Brown. Those are the books we don't want in school. Miss Harris, do you have a problem with those kind of books being banned? What's she gonna say? It's easy to say on a stump speech that Donald Trump wants to ban books. And oh God, we can't have that. Oh, Kamala, you're not going to let that happen. Okay, well then let's dig a little bit deeper. Stephen A., did you ask her about that? By the way, Stephen A., you said she wants to take a shot at Trump. How about just take a shot at reality? The lies are being promulgated by Hollywood, celebrities like Stephen A. Smith, and the media. And nobody asked a question. Earlier, I'm going to go back to that guy. I love that I saw your question. No, man, these ain't feelings. These are facts. The feelings are on that side. Oh, it's horrible. Donald Trump wants to ban books. Oh my God, he wants to take away your Medicare and Social Security. Oh, yeah, we can't let that happen. Who's doing that? Where are you coming up with that? You're just making it up out of thin air, and you're basically gaslighting those people in front of you. That's feelings. There's no fact to it. None whatsoever. Let me go one more. This is from, you'll love this, Bill Malugin. In 2018, then Senator Kamala Harris wrote to her colleagues urging them to reject the request by the Trump administration for more Border Patrol agents and ICE beds. Quote, we urge you to reduce funding for the administration's reckless immigration enforcement operations. Miss Harris, we have a copy of this letter that you sent to the border agents saying reject Trump's request. Why would you reject that request for better border enforcement? Never going to get asked. Hey, Stephen, are you watching this? Yeah. You want to ask? You want to get a hold of Kamala and figure out the answer to that question? We'll wait. It's all smoke and mirrors because you don't want to ask the real questions. You want to have her get up there in a debate and throw zingers out and insult. Yeah, I'm a prosecutor. I know how to deal with convicts. Yeah. Do you know how to deal with newcomers? Do you know how to do that? Well, if Trump, he participated and didn't try to kill the border bill, what bill? It was already shut down. I mean, you can look. There's a piece of a wall there. It was working. Why did we have to fix what wasn't broke? Can't do it. They can't possibly do it. She wants a tax rate like about 80%. Conscious Morin is dumb. He stuck a thermostat up his butt to check his temperature. Again, facts. I loved what he said. Are you going to talk about feelings or facts? I'm going to talk about facts. You can go look it up yourself. You don't have to rely on me. Awesome job, Barry. Love your show and take on things. And understand, it's not my take. I want you to always understand when I do my shows and when I present stuff to you, I'm asking you basically to get on there and look things up yourself and understand what is being said. When you see a story like this and you're like, damn, wow, Barry, did that really happen? Go look it up. Barry presented it, I present it to you. I've already looked it up, so I know it's happened, but I don't expect you to just, hey, well, Barry said it, so that must be true. No, take your time, go look it up yourself and go, wow, she did that too? Yeah, she did that too. It's amazing. Let's look what else she did. She hates Elon Musk. Oh my God, with a passion. And so she posted this: Donald Trump would ban baby removal nationwide. President Biden and I will do everything in our power to stop him and restore women's reproductive freedom, which is a bunch of word salad. And Community Note said, yeah, Trump has repeatedly said he will not sign it. And then Elon Musk says, when will politicians, or at least the interns who run their account, learn that lying on this platform doesn't work anymore? And of course, 71 million people have seen it. 71 million people have seen that her team lies. Lies. When will politicians or their interns learn that lying on this platform doesn't work anymore? It's driving them bat poop crazy. As I said in my video about Elon Musk yesterday, every time she says something, the community notes, which is that stuff down below where it says readers add context, they fact check it. And when they fact check it, it gets posted under the tweet or the post, the X, whatever you want to call it. So you're out there giving stump speeches and you're saying this all the time. Oh, he wants to take away women's. No, he doesn't. No, nothing. It's Stephen A. It couldn't be further from the truth. Why is your gal out there lying? It's not true. Facts versus feelings? Fact. Roe v. Wade was overturned and went down to the states. Fact. Trump's done with it. Doesn't have to do anything. That's what he wanted to see happen. So why are you still lying saying Trump wants to ban stuff nationwide when it's just nothing but a pure lie? Pure lie. I called her out on this one. That's me. The world right now looking for the response from Kamala Harris condemning Hezbollah for murdering kids in Israel. At the time I wrote this, it was about 3:30 p.m., so maybe by then now she has said something. But those of you who know, what's going on in Israel is about to blow up. Absolutely blow up. Hezbollah fired some missiles and they killed 12 kids. Basically dismembered them, just blew them up. Bibi Netanyahu was just here last week, met with Biden and Kamala, and then tonight they've issued a complete evacuation. Every American citizen in Lebanon, get out. They're about to make Lebanon beachfront property. Not a word. These kids got killed. Blown to bits. Kids, 10, 12 years old. Not a single word from Kamala Harris. Nothing. In fact, I want to make sure that you, again, get the right information. Let's look and see if Kamala Harris has said anything. I'll put this up right now. This is Kamala Harris's page, and that's a pinned. This is 4 hours. Together, this team is going to win in November. That's 5 hours ago. That's 7 hours ago. 7 hours. July 27. 10 hours. 20 hours. Nothing. 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 Nothing about those kids getting blown up. Oh, she's got her drag show announcement here. Nothing. How about her vice president page? Let's see if that was her personal page. Let's see if she said anything on her vice president page. So let's see here. Let's go back to the top. We looked at her personal page. She stands with the people of Venezuela, who expressed their voice in today's historic presidential election. An hour ago, nothing. Basketball at the Olympics, 8 hours ago, July 27. Not a word. Not a word about those kids in Israel. So what must have happened in Venezuela is that they must have stayed socialists. So let's see that. Well, let's see what the breaking news is. You can vote your way into communism, but you can't vote your way out. Venezuela is shutting polling stations. So there's unrest going on in Venezuela, and she congratulated the government for doing this to people. Shouldn't that be a question at the debate? Hey, Miss Harris, are you really congratulating people who are stealing an election? I mean, it's crazy what's going on in Venezuela. I don't understand the language here, but you can see people are upset. They're being told all kinds of different things. Is that in English? Nope. I don't understand the language, but you can tell people are upset. I wish they had a translation here, but obviously you can see military, they've kept their socialist government in place. Yep. So I don't understand why she would congratulate that, but that would be a question. Why did you congratulate Venezuela for basically shutting down an election, but you didn't say anything to the people of Israel? Not a word. Not one single word. Why did you not say, hey, Stephen A., don't you think if 11 kids get bombed in war, that she should say something to Bibi Netanyahu and the people of Israel? Why is she not saying anything? Not a friggin' word. I forgot about this till I just read it again. Hey, Stephen A., you were saying that Trump said he wouldn't debate her? You realize you're lying, right? You realize that right now? Well, I'm going to prove you're lying, because Fox is the number one cable news organization in America and should host the next debate. Democrats already had their turn with liberal CNN. What is Harris afraid of? And here was posted, Kamala Harris says she's ready to debate President Trump. She's only agreeing to the ABC debate so that Clinton operative George Stephanopoulos can run cover for her. Hey, if you are anytime, any place, as you posted, Trump went on to CNN. He agreed to a debate with Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Why won't you do Fox? So, Stephen A., did you know that? Did you know that she chose not to basically want to debate on Fox? Go into a somewhat hostile or adversarial environment? No, I don't want to do that. Breaking news, Kamala Harris does not commit to the Fox News debate and only affirms her willingness to participate in ABC-hosted debate. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that in your butt kissing of Kamala Harris. You want to see her get it on, right? You said you're from the sports world. Let me ask you a question. When two teams get put into the Super Bowl, do the teams say, listen, I'm not going to the Super Bowl unless you play in my stadium? I understand for 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years that the Super Bowl has been played in a neutral location. But what you're saying right now is neutral's not good for Kamala. You need to come to her hometown. Play there. You didn't even mention in your video that she's already turned down the debate at Fox. You do know that Trump went out to CNN, right? You do know that he went to CNN and submitted to every demand that they asked him. We're going to stand here. You're going to mute my mic. You're going to do all these different things. Yeah, I'm coming. But she won't even go to Fox. So you lied again. Absolutely lied again. And these are just the questions. People need to do their own research. Otherwise, they won't believe it. You're absolutely right. Let's see here. If she said anytime, any place, wherever the Republicans desire, nope, she won't do it. Won't do it. Kamala is the major liberal, worse than everything. Everything about Kamala is fake. Everything. Every single thing. And what they're trying to do and how they're trying to wipe all the stuff is too much. Just in what I played here tonight, there's too much for her to hide from. And the only thing that she can hope is people won't ask her about it. She hasn't done a press conference yet. She's only done pre-written speeches. She won't do a press conference. She won't let people ask her any questions. Let's see here. Why isn't... Okay, where's this here? He said anytime, any place to Joe. Exactly. That's very important. You just can't step in and think you get to all of a sudden, get all the same stuff. How about from one from Fox and one from ABC and the other one at Common? Sure, but she won't do it. She knows she will get ripped apart. She needs Stephanopoulos. She needs somebody who's going to help her. She needs someone who basically, who knows, maybe they're going to give her the questions in advance. I don't put anything past these people. That's an opinion. I can't prove that, other than the fact that Donna Brazile already did it. But let her debate Vance. Yeah, she's just a vice president right now. That's another thing. She's a vice president. She, like I said, she has no delegate. She hasn't won anything. She's nothing. Again, I don't mean that from a personal standpoint, but she has not even attained anything yet. Barry, have more of those that she says stuff and show them up. Show what they said in the past, and so people say she didn't show them the clip. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So let me go to the next one. I got a couple more for you here. This is just another one that says she didn't want to do the debate. It's all over the place. People are reporting it. She won't do it on Fox. But Stephen A., he doesn't know that. He didn't do his research. He has no idea what he's talking about. Oh yeah, Donald Trump is ducking her. He don't want no part of this. Well, how do you explain that? How do you explain the fact that she won't go on Fox? I guess not. Laura Loomer says, okay, here's something. Oh, Kamala, girl, we got something to ask you. Revealed, Kamala Harris's husband firm reps a Chinese Communist Party-owned corporate that does air balloons. Employs ex-CCP officials. Why isn't there a microphone in front of her face? Is it true, Miss Harris, that your husband, who you never see, is a lawyer for the Chinese Communist Party? Is that true? Dare you to ask her that. Dare you. You tell me how the Vice President of the United States can have a husband that has a client that is the Communist Party of China. Tell me how that even works. Tell me how that is even legal. You know, in fact, she's running for president. It's time for you to resign, Mr. First Gentleman, whatever you say, second gentleman at this point. You gotta step away from your law practice. Exercise. Get away from it. But nobody will ever ask her that. Oh, this is a good one. Kamala Harris' stepdaughter has raised $8 million for pro-Hamas Gaza, who just killed kids playing in Israel. Despite her Jewish heritage, via her father Doug, she has publicly stated that she does not consider herself Jewish. So your daughter, let me get this right, stepdaughter, all right, she's not of you, but your stepdaughter just raised $8 million for the very same people who are blowing up kids. You think that's okay? You know, shouldn't people know about this, Miss Harris? Stephen A., did you know that? Steve, you still here? Still watching? Oh, I think we've lost Steve by this time, because he can't answer any of these questions. Did your daughter really do this? Okay, let's get you on the record. Did your daughter raise $8 million for the organization that's killing kids? Please let us know. Will they ever ask these questions? Probably not. They suck. And Ela, you're going to love this one. All right, so this is what, and here I'm going to close with this, take some more comments, but you're going to love this. Those of you who have computers and on your phones, what I want you to do is go into Google and do what I'm about to show you. I can't even say it because Google owns YouTube, but this has been happening all day today. If you put these words, it doesn't even show up. They have scrubbed it from search results. It's just not there. It's gone. They are doing everything they can to protect the Democrat Party, including scrubbing any reference of what happened on July 13th. The tweet says, it needs to be hauled in front of Congress to answer for this. Yes, that is Orwellian. Look at that. We live in a really weird society right now. So I want you to, again, try it on your own phones. Let's see if I can pull it up in here. Let me see what happens if I put it in. Let's see. Oh, I got the wrong window open. Let me put this window. Okay, let me put this. All right, so let's start over again. Nope, not there. Can you see that? It's not there. It's gone. It's like it never happened. They went full Kaiser Sose on the internet. It's not even there. It's not one of the suggested results. Does that make you freak out? Do you see what you're up against right now? Again, do it wherever you live. See if it shows up for you. Let me know. I'll take some comments in a second, but gone. One of the most major events in the United States history. An attempted takeout of a former president and current leading candidate, and they've completely wiped it from the internet like it never even happened. Ms. Harris, you have a problem with that? Stephen A., got a problem with that? It's not just them. Then look at this one that came in today. This happened today as well. AI lies about history. So this is Meta AI. This is Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's AI. Somebody wanted to show what would happen. Again, do it yourself. Tell me about the assassination attempt on Trump. I'm sorry, I can't assist you with that. I don't always have access to the most up-to-date information. Can I help you with anything else? I ain't got that. All right, tell me about Kamala Harris' campaign for president 2024. Boom. Give you everything about that. I'm sorry, I can't tell you about that one now. And Elon Musk says, big exclamation point, you're being lied to. The reason I make these videos is because I need to show people you're being lied to. And there are so many people like that guy earlier I keep mentioning who don't understand because they don't even know what they're looking for. They don't even understand that everything that they're seeing right now is choreographed. If it wasn't for this person here and Elon Musk, and let me see right now, 2.9 million people have seen this since 5:30 tonight. If you didn't know, you would know. We are in such a horrible situation as a country where you've got certain part of big tech and you've got celebrities and you've got sports athletes and everybody out there, and they're just looking you in the face and lying straight to you. I just showed you Stephen A. Smith lie, not even try to be correct, lie to you for 10 minutes. They're not even trying. It's like they're being blackmailed or something. Maybe they are. Why would you not want to be truthful? I have been a fan of a football team. I've been a fan of a basketball team. I've been a fan forever of the Red Sox. I've been a lifelong fan of Notre Dame. And I can honestly say Notre Dame has sucked for years. Love them when they win a national championship, and I also love them when they lose. But I can be fair and equitable, and say the truth. We haven't been able to win. We haven't been able to break through. Our quarterback hasn't played well. We've lost some coaches. But for some reason, this thing called politics is causing people to basically mortgage their credibility. Say whatever they need to say, do whatever they need to do to make sure whoever they're backing, you don't see the truth. They work extremely hard to scrub everything. I mean, right now you could probably look up, how did the Red Sox lose the World Series in 1986? And I'll tell you right now, Bill Buckner dropped the ball, otherwise Red Sox would have won. And I'm sure you could put in Bill Buckner 1986, bloop, come right up. You'll be able to see the video where the ball went right through his legs. Right through his legs. You'll be able to look, how did Kobe score the most points in NBA history with 82 points or whatever? What did Michael Jordan do when he had the flu? Oh, he scored six. But when you get to politics, they don't want you seeing the truth. And the truth is available for you to see. They just try to keep it hidden. And now it's worse than I've ever seen it. And when I saw Stephen A. do that video, and I went, the dude's just sitting there, and he is like Harry Sisson. He's using the vernacular. He's using the way he talks to talk to certain black people to try and keep them on a reservation. And he's looking at a camera and lying to people. And has no problem doing it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Maybe he turns off the camera and goes, damn, I hope I ain't got to keep doing this. I really hope I don't have to keep doing it for whatever reason. Oh, because other black people might get mad at me. I don't care. If you turn off this video and never watch another one, it don't matter to me. I'm going to go out there and play with my dog and hug up on my wife. Doesn't really matter. I have more credibility, and I want to have more credibility than to simply sit here and lie to you. Every single thing I've shown to you tonight, you can verify. There's not a single video or tweet that you can't go back and say, wait a minute, Barry showed me this, and I need to look it up and see if that really happened. Do it. Do it. But you can't do that with the left. They just stand there and look you in the face. Go ahead. And Trump wants to do away with newcomers. And Trump wants to, basically never let you have a baby removal ever. He wants to do it nationwide. And he wants to do Project 2025. And I'm like, do these people not listen? Why are you so stupid? Why are you so evil? Why is it so important that what you stand for, you can't say to people? See, that's the problem I have. Is Trump gets up there on his speech and he's like, yeah, get ready, I'm deporting all of you. Ooh, okay, this man just told me what he thinks. Oh, guess what? On day one, I'm firing the SEC chairman because we're going to go with Bitcoin. Straight up. Okay, that's what he's going to do. He doesn't lie because he didn't have to. He'll tell you. Straight up. You don't like it? Too bad. That's what I'm going to do. But you don't do that on the Democrat side. They won't tell you what they really mean. Hey, Kamala, are you still one who believes in 60 to 70 or 80% income tax? Tell me. Luckily, Elizabeth Warren spilled the beans on you. I want to make all these people citizens. Tomorrow, there should be someone with a microphone. Hey, listen, we heard Elizabeth Warren on State of the Union yesterday. She said you want to make all these newcomers citizens. Is that true? And just listen. But they never ask. They can't. They count on people lying. They count on the American public being stupid. So that's my entire existence, is to show you that they are lying to people, so maybe you can show some other people, and maybe some people come in here and go, I didn't know that. Really? Wow. But there's a term, you might want to look it up, it's called cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is when you show people the truth, and because it's so stunning to them, they can't believe the truth. They can't believe that they've been used and lied to for so long. I can't deal with it. What do you mean, Barry, that she wants to... She said it. I played it. Oh, yeah, 60 to 80% taxes. Equal equity, whatever stupid stuff she said. I want to take money from you and give it to him because we all need to be on the same road or whatever. What? What do you mean? I want to defund the police, but depends on what definition you use of defund the police. No, you tell me. You're the one running for office. Don't worry about my definition. I want to know yours. What do you intend to do about police? They won't ask. And so you need to be the one asking these questions. You need to ask yourself, okay? Kamala is a low-level politician who really has nothing to offer the United States. No, we're not. Let's see this one. Or they won't believe the truth. No. hive mind mentality at this point is they have to do what their other friends do. Because, it was funny. Candace Owens did a video today or yesterday. And she's talking about CIA experiments where they brought 18 people into a room. And they showed them a picture of a triangle and a picture of a square. And the 18 people in the room were asked, when I click on the button, tell me what shape this is. And what the people in the room didn't know, or one person didn't know, is 17 of the people were going along with it. They were part of the CIA. One of the person was the actual subject. And they were trying to see what they could do with brainwashing. True story. And so they would show a picture of a triangle, and they'd go around the room one at a time, and people would say, square, 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 square. And by the time they got to this target, the target would say, well, I must not be seeing this right. I must, even though I think it's a triangle, I'm going to say square, because I don't want to be that person who goes against the majority. True story. You can look that up as well. What they're doing right now, and they can't do it on X anymore, so they're trying to get people not to watch X, trying to get people to get away from Twitter so that you don't see this stuff. But, like that one that Elon said, they can say it all they want. They can continue to say as much crap as they want to as many people as they want, because most people don't want the truth. Most people don't want the answer, especially on that side. I mean, you've seen this whole thing about what they're doing to Israel, and I'm like, wait a minute, do you remember what happened on October 7th? Oh, it didn't happen. It was fake. Oh, there are people out there who don't think Trump got shot. Nope. There are actually people. There was a guy arguing with me saying, it was a packet that he just activated. That's why he went down. I mean, they're absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Be careful. Be very careful. Schools should be run by the states. I completely agree with that. That's why they rig the popular vote every year. It's all smoke and mirrors. Wish we could fact check TV stations in real time and list it on the screen for everyone to see. Wouldn't that be awesome? Do you know what's really awesome? Is that technology exists. It absolutely exists. How many of you have, and this is something that's really weird, when they say, the Arbitron ratings show that XYZ show is #1 in the time slot. I don't need a rating. Every single one of us, our TVs plug into the wall. Our modems and our routers are computers. Don't tell me, you can't tell me what's on my TV right now, what my wife is watching. Absolutely you have that data, but you still use ratings? Why do you need ratings? It's funny to me, many of us have Sirius in our cars. They know exactly what we're listening to at whatever time we're listening to it. They lie about all of it. I was in marketing. I know. I would see the reports. I would get the data, the real data. And I used to think to myself, why do people not regularly have this available to them? Because if they knew, they'd be upset. I just wish their noses would grow when they lied, okay? I know it's not the topic, but when will you be doing your football team? Want to hear what you think about your quarterback's contract. For those of you who don't know, I used to do a Dolphins channel here, and I switched over in March. On March 18th, I switched over to this because I was more passionate about it and I thought it was more important. So a lot of people have asked me, are you going to do the Dolphins again? And I think I'm going to create another channel and just do the Dolphins. So it's coming. Didn't Elon say he was going to buy Google, but then again he said he was going to buy Coca-Cola and put the cookie down? I don't think he can buy Google. Google is a little bit too expensive, way more expensive than Twitter was. Put Harris on a polygraph. Yeah, she'd never do it. We are not a third world country, but we're going that way. We are definitely headed in that direction. I got a new set of 1996 for next to nothing. I don't know what that means. 5 teachers in my family, and they love kids but hate the system. Too much time invested to leave. My daughter is a teacher. My daughter teaches in community college. She was teaching in college. She left because it's crazy. It's insane. The system, as you say, is absolutely nuts. people are deranged if they believe in the Democrats' agenda. Absolutely. Okay, this is obviously an LSU fan who says, take Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly was the coach in Notre Dame who left Notre Dame and went to LSU. And people are like, yeah, you can have him back. No, you got him. You own him. No refunds. Thank you for all the great information. What's this say, Barry? You're doing NFL this season. Don't think your team made a wise choice. No, I don't believe they did well either. Let's see here. Jeanette says, thank you for all the great information. And that's all I mean to do, is just give you guys information, let you guys decide what you are going to do with that information. Look it up, spread it, share it with people who want to know the truth. Well, it's Sunday evening. I'm going to go eat dinner. My wife and I are going to watch Planet of the Apes tonight. We've got that all queued up. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.